Wherever you are in the world, welcome to another edition of My Take on China. And today I'm going back to Xinjiang. Not literally, don't worry, just in the video. I posted a video a couple of weeks ago called A Tale of Two Xinjiangs. I'll link it in the description. And someone questioned one of my statistics. In fact, they said it was ridiculous. The commentator suggested I was lying, or inferred I was lying, when I said that almost 200 million tourists visit the region a year, and because I compared that to Spain, where only 126 million people visited, he described it, or me, as totally insane. Well, this year, so far, even the ABC, whose article I was ridiculing, admitted that the number was 180 million. So it wasn't me saying it, it was an anti-China media group who were visiting the region for themselves, adding to that number. But let's look at why I think the number is accurate. Albeit maybe not quite 200 million, there are some reports that this number is accurate, but other reports say that it may have been as low as 158 million. So depending on the report you read, the source that you have, still more than the people who visited Spain. First of all, most people who visit Spain would be Europeans. Perhaps a few North Americans, Africans, but the vast majority would be doing what I did when I lived in the UK and took a 2-week summer break or an autumn or spring holiday for some sunshine. The total number of people who live in Europe is only 744 million, less than half the number who live in China, and they have a wide variety of incredible destinations to visit. Obviously, Spain is popular because 126 million people went there. I once went there twice in a year. I had an uncle who lived there, and his 3 children would have visited several times a year. It's no surprise that they got as many as 126 million visitors. It's a wonderful country. Spain also includes the Balearics, the islands of Ibiza, Formentera, Menorca, and Mallorca, and a couple of other smaller islands, islets really, that most people have never even heard of, Cabrera and Dragonera, for instance. But let's get back to Xinjiang. 1.4 billion people live in China, twice the European continent. And the West is making Xinjiang suffer. So to understand why so many people would visit the region is to understand a little bit of Chinese culture. They are communal in nature. They help each other out. I don't know if the numbers are correct or not, but in 2019, I was in Xinjiang, and there were many visitors there. Our hotel was full. It was a large hotel. When we booked it, we paid more than we wanted to pay because the cheaper hotels were already full. It was a school holiday time, and this is normal. Believe me, there are no shortage of good hotels in the capital, Urumqi. The point that these people who criticize this raise about being desert or mountainous is a good one. Many people, including me, go there because we love the deserts and the mountains. The flaming mountains of Xinjiang have to be seen to be believed, and I'm lucky enough to have seen them 3 times. But travel west of there and take a look at Ili. Yining is the nearest airport, about 600 kilometers west of the capital city, Urumqi. It has lavender and sunflower fields, and that makes it similar to Provence in France. Tourists who want those kinds of photos flock to the region in very large numbers. Xinjiang also has huge amounts of history, including ancient, abandoned Silk Road towns, and the world's largest adobe minaret. That is a Muslim place of worship that also happens to be a massive tourist attraction. The region has an incredible number of summer visitors to different parts of the ancient Silk Road. And during the winter, there are 72 ski resorts. I'm really not sure why any country would build so many ski resorts unless there were people going to stay in them. In Altai, there are 12,000-year-old cave paintings depicting people using skis, and this indicates that skiing was actually invented or discovered in Altai or that region, and probably spread from there to the west into Russia and Finland. There are also several shared borders. I went to Korgas. The border there is a duty-free shopping area for people crossing from Kazakhstan. And it's only 300 kilometers from the capital of Kazakhstan, Almaty. Many Kazakhs cross the border for shopping every day. They may not be overnight visitors, but they're certainly visitors to the region. And I know this is true because I've seen them in their thousands. There's a huge shopping center there to accommodate them. I was only there for one day, but multiply my one day seeing at least 2,000 or 3,000 people at that shopping center, and that's seeing almost 1 million a year. Although I haven't been to them all, there are many other border crossings, and I'd have to assume that they have the same or maybe similar facilities. Finally, there are currently 27 airports in Xinjiang, the largest being Urumqi by a long way, but there are also 2 airports in that city alone. The number will be 33 by 2025. As with ski resorts, why build them if no one's going to use them? If China says 190 to 200 million people went there, I believe them. My personal experience bears it out. The number of friends I know who've also been there bears it out too. The infrastructure and facilities indicate that there is a thriving tourist industry. Even Hilton, Marriott and Sheraton have hotels there, so they have confidence that there will be people to fill the rooms. And the last thing I'll say about Xinjiang is that it has some of the best food in the world. If nothing else, there's a damn good reason to go there. Now, I'm sorry if that doesn't sit well with the narrative of being a closed place. It isn't. Once again, I'll say this. If you want to know what's going on in Xinjiang, go and see for yourself. You can. It's very easy to get a visa for China now. Get on a plane, train or a high-speed train and drive yourself along the G30 and cross the border by road. I've done that twice. I use the G312. It's great. I've used both plane and the old green slow train to go there. There are no restrictions on travel to get into Xinjiang. None at all. Do yourself a favor and try. But if you can't, please stop telling the people who can and the people who do how hard, dangerous, or suppressed or oppressed that it is. None of these things are true. And the only way you can find that out is to go and see for yourself. Or you could accept my word is true. Just because you don't believe me doesn't mean I'm telling you a lie. And thanks once again for watching my take on China. If you have anyone telling you how Xinjiang is such a terrible place, feel free to show them this. I'm always happy to have my videos shared. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.